Hi, Tom Cole for Buckeye Cable and BCSN, and welcome into another edition of Sports Flash. And certainly an honor for me today to have one of my very good friends and one of the best attorneys in Toledo, Mr. Charlie Contrada, on board. Charlie, thanks so much for being here. First of all, Mr. Contrada, you've been a great supporter of BCSN, and we certainly thank you so much for that, and certainly athletics in Toledo. But I want to take you to. You did something a little different. You jumped on the headsets and did color for us at one of the Kenyon College broadcasts that we were doing, and you did a phenomenal job. Did you enjoy it?
It was great. Thanks for inviting me. As you know, I graduated and played football at Kenyon College, and when you invited me to do the color, I couldn't pass that up. I want to do it again, Tom.
Well, you were good. Well, you were much better. You were much better than me, and I think we can. I think we can work our way around that and get you my job. But we had a three. It's really hard. You were kind enough to go into a three-booth scenario, and Greg Franke, who does a great job on play-by-play, and then you and I shared color. And normally a three-booth is difficult because people don't understand the pacing and the timing and where to come in and not, and they talk over one another. And you assimilated in such a perfect fashion. It was kind of seamless. It was so congrats to you.
Well,
did it make you feel? Was there a little bit of deja vu when you see the uniforms and the field? And I used to be down there playing, and now I'm up in the box.
It really was. It was just great to see the kids, and great. I think Division III college football is a terrific sport.
It is. And
I encourage everyone to go see it as soon as they can. And I think youth sports is so important, and I think, college sports is part of that. 99% of the people that play college sports are never going on to the pros. They're
right.
doing it because they enjoy it, the physical activity. I just think it's a wonderful activity for everybody.
Yeah, somebody sent me the stats, and you're right on to that, Charlie. I think of all the youngsters that play high school football in America, which is a pretty big number, only 6% of those kids play 4 years in college. And so you think of all the kids playing high school, only 6% play 4 years in college. And then the kids that are playing college football in the United States, all divisions, 1, 2, 3, only 1.6% play 4 years in the NFL. So enjoy your experience in college,
right.
Get the most out of it, and also get your academics, because obviously Kenyon was good to you academically. It's one of the great academic institutions in our colleges in America, and it sets you up to be the great attorney you are today.
Oh, thank you very much. And then I came back home and I went to law school at University of Toledo, which is another great institution.
Their law school is phenomenal. My daughter went to their law school, and she raves about it, and still does today. Still does today. Still stays in contact with people there, and incredible law school. Your career at Rogers, you were one heck of a tough.
Well, you and I played against each other.
That's why I know you were one heck of a tough guy. I've still got some ribs on occasion. You were a hitter, Charlie. You were a tough guy playing for Rogers.
I was coached by Tom Gateau.
Right.
We practiced tackling every day in practice. We really did.
Yeah.
And Tommy Lyons was the head coach.
He was a tough guy.
They were tough guys. Jim Vitale was my JV coach.
They were all tough guys, and you played that way. You played clean and fair, but it was definitely hard-nosed football, and you had a great career at Rogers. Also, you've been involved in youth sports. You were president of the Sylvania Rec.
Yeah, for about 5 years. And I was on the board 12 or 13 years.
Yeah, you've always been helping kids in athletics. But I want to take you to the Sylvania Rec thing, because I think so often young kids get so much pressure on them in the lower, grade schoolish kind of endeavors that it sours them sometimes on athletics for high school. And shouldn't that be more, Charlie? Learn the game and have a little fun, and then we'll see where it takes you.
Yeah, you need to have fun with your friends. The parents need to back off a little bit, participate and enjoy your children, but you want them to have 5 years of happiness. You get some coach that,
Right.
is overbearing or is trying to live through his kid, and he's taking it out on your kids,
Right.
and it takes the fun out of it. And really, the kids get over those games a lot quicker than the parents do. It's kind of amazing.
Right, and the kids do want to have fun. I'll tell you what, and I don't know how many people would agree with this, but I don't care what level you're playing football. If you're good, certainly winning is a fun thing to do. So I don't know anybody that goes out on a football field and says, gee, I really hope they kick the bejeevers out of me today. I'm really looking forward to it. Everybody goes out, they want to be competitive, and you don't put pads on unless you're a competitive person. So that's a given, but you want to have a little fun. You go out and practice, you have a couple laughs, you have the camaraderie, you have great relationships with your coaches and your teammates, and that's really what it's all about.
It really is, and that's, you need to build that strength. And so often, if you get a bad coach, it kind of takes it away.
Right.
And then they start to not like that particular sport, and by the time they get to high school, they're not even going to try out, even though they could be a good athlete. So that's what it is. You want to build that confidence and build, a coordinated effort with all the other kids and the coaches together. And part of that is just let the parents back out and let the kids be themselves.
It's interesting to me, Charlie. I won't use a name here, but coaching, I saw a freshman at St. John's when I was coaching the varsity, and he was a big kid, heavy-set kid, but he was really uncoordinated, and just hadn't grown, into his body. He was going to be a real big kid, but he was very uncoordinated, and struggled, really struggled, didn't start, and I heard parents saying, why do you even keep him on the team? It's not. He's never gonna, never gonna play, never gonna help them. Well, long story short, and I think you know where this is going. He ended up, by the time his senior year, he was 6'6", 275, 280. Started, went both ways. Went to Ohio State, was all Big Ten, and then played in the NFL. Now, there were, so if some of the parents would have had their way, he wouldn't have played because he, wasn't going to be anything. You can't tell. You got to let kids develop.
And you just don't know. You don't know the kid that's not so good when he's 8 or 9 might be a terrific high school player or a college player. And you have to give those kids a chance, and you need to let them play some innings and a couple, of the downs in football. Even though they may not be as good as some of the other kids, by the time they're fully grown, they could be the great player. You never know that.
Charlie, and I still contend, and I know you know this in the legal because there aren't many professions as competitive as law. I mean, you get in a courtroom and you're defending one of your clients, and your commercials are on Buckeye Cable all the time, which we thank you for that. But your clients all say the same thing. That Charlie fights for us. He's a fighter. I mean, I know you go into the courtroom, you like you're putting the pads on, you're playing to win. And I think football gives you, that competitiveness. If something doesn't go right away in the courtroom, you don't put your head down and start crying, because of your background in sports. You say, okay, hey, maybe we didn't win that one, but we're going to win this case by the time it's done. And I think that's what sports brings to people, a toughness.
It does bring a toughness, but the other part of the law practice, it isn't always what you do in the courtroom. It's what you did to prepare for
preparation.
The courtroom. And I think you learn that in football too.
Yeah.
You go through 5 grueling days of practice, which may not be enjoyable, but by the time a game happens, you know what's going on. You know what plays they're going to run. You're ready for them, and or you're ready for the other side in the courtroom.
Your athletic career now has been transferred to your daughter, who's a great coach, and it's a great story. Tell the folks. Your daughter's high school coach in softball, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And she tell the folks the phone call you got.
Well, she was a JV coach for 3 years, and then she gets the phone call that, Dad, I'm the varsity coach. And I got that great question that every parent wants. It was, Dad, could you come out and help me coach the outfield? And I was like, how do you turn that down?
And you took a week off?
Oh, I did. Yeah. I did. The last 2 years, and she started, her team was 4-16, I think, and 5-15. The last 2 years, he's won back-to-back state champions, Division I.
Because Dad nailed down the outfield. I mean, he had all the fundamentals.
No, it's all off her hard work.
Yeah, so. Your daughter's a very, very talented coach, and we should tell the folks, even though they already know what a power couple the Contradas are, that your wonderful wife, Carol, is a Lucas County Commissioner, doing a great job. So Charlie, on behalf of Buckeye Cable and BCSN, we want to thank you for the support of BCSN you've provided all these years and being an important partner to us, and your support of athletics in our Toledo community. And we thank you so very much for that.
Well, I think BCSN has really focused on youth athletics, and I think that is so important for those kids. It really helps. I mean, it's helped you in your career, it's helped me in my career, and I can't say strongly enough, encourage your children to participate in physical activity outside the home, not in front of the computers, for a couple hours every day.
Well said, Mr. Contrada. Thank you so much, Charlie.
Thanks for inviting me, Tom.
Yes. Tom Coley, coach for Buckeye Cable and BCSN.